Ya les dije que el feminismo no existe.
Guys, it's time to record.
Yes.
Hello, my lovely people. What's up? I welcome everybody to the Guys podcast.
And the girls.
Today we're gonna be talking about a topic that is actually very foreign to me because I'm really nice to everybody.
Selfishness.
Okay.
Even though Wuthering Heights deals with pretty heavy topics like vengeance, love, and hate, we chose selfishness because we're the most original students of the bunch.
So basically, what happens? Selfishness is seen throughout the novel from the first moment when Lockwood arrives to Wuthering Heights, and then instead of facing a regular Victorian hospitality, he's faced with an extremely rude and unhappy people.
Quote, as Mr. Lockwood puts it, wretched inmates, I ejaculated mentally. You deserve perpetual isolation from your species for your childish inhospitality. At least I would not keep my doors barred in 12 Wuthering Heights in the daytime. I don't care, I will get in. So resolved, I grasped the latch and shook it vehemently.
Furthermore, the novel builds upon this theme through Nellie Dean's flashbacks.
But I mean, Salo, do you actually think that this is introduced with Heathcliff, or what do you think that actually happens here?
No, I actually believe that selfishness is introduced through Catherine and Hindley's relationship when they were a child, and not at all through Heathcliff. Even before Heathcliff arrived to the family, Catherine and Hindley, they were really selfish. For example, they didn't receive the presents that their father had promised from Liverpool, and they were really angry.
Right. Catherine actually spat at Heathcliff because he caused his father to lose her weep.
That's actually crazy. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's super important to mention that contrary to what we think happens in our lives as we mature, the older the kids in the books were, the more selfish they became. So it was like a contrary maturity.
For example, after Heathcliff's selfish childhood antics, which one would think were typical for a young boy, he gets even more jealous of people who get more of Catherine's attention than himself.
Even going to the extent of getting angry at Catherine and telling her to stop hanging around or to go hang around with Linton instead of himself.
Yeah, and that's actually quite interesting because when the book moves on and when the characters get a little bit older and Catherine gets proposed by Edgar, she says, it would be degradable for me to marry Heathcliff now. So he shall never know I love him. And that, not because he's handsome. Nelly, not because he's more myself than I am. Whatever, our souls are made of this, and mine are the same as Linton's, in a different as a moonbeam for lightning, or frost my fire.
This further demonstrates how selfishness isn't instilled merely in Heathcliff, but in the Wuthering Heights household. She didn't want to marry Heathcliff because she thought that would degrade her status somehow, and that she calls love.
Wait, what are you saying that people outside Wuthering Heights are not selfish?
When we're talking about the second generation of kids in the book, yes, I am saying that. Even though Mr. Earnshaw was generous to Heathcliff when he came, he was practically the only person who we saw was generous in Wuthering Heights because his wife hated Heathcliff, his kids did also,
So the greatest example here are the Lintons. The only true selfish thing that any of them did was when Isabella ran away from her life with Heathcliff. And even that, I believe, was guided by her love for her unborn child and her wanting to see a baby succeed. Then, why did she run away as soon as she found out that she was pregnant? Also, it's crucial to understand and realize how unselfish Edgar was with Catherine and young Catherine.
Yes, and think about how the Lintons took Catherine in when she was bitten by their dog, and they practically raised her, taught her how to be a proper lady of the time, basically. And that is pretty unselfish for you to have a foreign kid in your house and feed them and help them grow as a person, that's pretty unselfish.
But what about the servants in Wuthering Heights? Do you think they were selfish? Do you think Ellen was selfish?
I believe basically that Joseph is super selfish. Why? Because he only cares about what he has to say and how he judges other people and their actions. I think this is crazy. He's selfish with his respect towards other people. That's a kind of selfish that I had never seen in my entire life.
And Ellen is absolutely selfish, Juanfe, because she downplays her role in all negative things of the book. For example, when she went to Wuthering Heights to give young Lincoln over to Heathcliff, he practically begged her for her to not let him there, not let him live there. And still, she kind of when she's narrating the story, she downplays her actions in negative circumstances. So that is very selfish because she's trying to impress Lockwood in order to keep her image flawless.
So what?
What?
So what?
Basically, Bronte is criticizing people's immature and selfish nature throughout the book. In Wuthering Heights, she implies that someone being selfish means that they're immature, and by constantly pointing it out in her characters and the story's narrator, she is making her opinion known for the reader. Also, by making the selfish characters be related to the gloomy and tormented Wuthering Heights estate, she is highlighting how these attributes are negative and corrupt entire relationships and families.
In our lives, we're oftentimes too selfish. This may range from not wanting to share food to not giving our families the time and respect they need.
And you know something? I think that being selfish is shown basically from the small acts, as we could see in Wuthering Heights. So there is more than one way to be selfish. You can be selfish with your respect. You can either listen to people or you cannot listen to people. You can give them your time or you can't. You can love, you cannot. And basically, I think that also something super important that can be shown in the book is the dedication that we can see here. So you can be selfish with yourself when you don't prioritize your health or put yourself first in harm circumstances, and this can be seen all around with all people.
Yeah. But we do have to realize that Bronte's message is really clear. Even the narrators of our own story, even the people that educate us can be selfish. And we have to open our eyes and be mature enough to wake up and seek the truth and be unbiased and really clearly.